This episode is ad-free on the Patreon. So if you want to partake in that, you can head on over to patreon.com/reality tea times two. Patreon going strong. If you want to go over there and join in on the fun, we got 3 tiers on Canadian dollars. First tier is $3 a month, where you get these episodes ad free. You also get AMAs once a month, or learn about me episode once a month. And then on the second tier, which is $5 a month, you get everything from the first tier, as well as coverage of a reality show of yesteryear. That's right now Jersey Shore, currently in season 3. You can also go to the main feed, where there will be the first episode of every season released there. So you can try that before you head over to the Patreon. And then on the third tier, you get everything from the first 2 tiers, as well as coverage from a true crime documentary. We got the backlog of Ashley Madison documentary, Man of 1,000 Kids, Into the Fire, Lacey Peterson, and again, all those episodes for the first episode of each is in the main feed, so you can try that before you head over. So if you are interested, you can head over to patreon.com/reality tea times two, and you can sign up for whichever tier you feel for. Again, you can try before you buy, which basically means you can try any tier for a week before committing to it. Even if you are on other tier, if you are on tier 1 or the first tier and you want to go over to the second tier, you could still try that second tier for a week before committing to the upgrade. So again, that is at patreon.com/reality tea times two. And of course, the link is in the show notes, website, social media accounts. It's all available there. Hi, everyone. Before we head into this episode, just want to say this whole episode, just based on what's been kind of happening with TFP and Dakota, this is just a massive trigger warning. We are going to be talking about people who are accused of domestic violence, gnarly domestic violence. We are kind of trugging on through this, though, despite that. So I just want to say trigger warning for that. If you need to skip this episode, by all means, please do so. If you need to skip over TFP mentions at all, which is unfortunately most of the episode, please do. I understand that 100%. So yeah, if you need that, please, by all means, please do so. I understand. But anyways, enough of me. Let's head into the episode. Welcome to Reality Tea Times 2, the podcast where we discuss all the trash reality TV we love to hate. I'm Tanika, and today we're going to be doing episode 4 of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. So let's just jump into the reason we're here. So, episode 4. Taylor is talking about Dakota. So they apparently were dirty talking on the phone. I didn't remember this from the reunion, but apparently this did come up at the reunion, where apparently they were sexting or they were talking on the phone or whatever the hell happened. Turns out that's true. And I just don't understand why. Like, that's the thing for me. I don't understand why. Like, this is a man was sexting a family friend for whom you're close with, and you're gonna be like, oh well, and then act like the way you did at the reunion, which feels fake to me, because it's like, you clearly aren't over him. And then you have Leanne and your stepdad up there defending you and coming at him in the only way they should be. Meanwhile, y'all were sexting the night before. Get a grip. So anyways, there weren't texts, but items, essentially the same thing. Did I say items? Whatever. But Michaela says to Whitney, we're with Michaela and Whitney having a lovely moment. And Michaela says to Whitney, I am so sorry that I was not there for you when you had your baby because we were fighting. They're friends again, y'all. So the ladies are meeting up, and Jesse says, it's just funny that Demi didn't show up when she gave Whitney shit for not showing up, or when Jen didn't show up. Funny, isn't it? It's just funny. It really is. And I said that already in the last episode. We are with Dakota and Jordan talking about the reunion. How are you going to feel with her being on The Bachelorette? Well, guess what? We'll never know. Because asshole went and aired a freaking domestic violence video 3 years after it happened. Days before her season was airing. Tell me that's not being vindictive in that sense. She did it. It's fucked up. We knew she did it already. This is not news to us. But here we are. We will never fucking know. Or do we know? I personally think that's the idea of us knowing. He did not want her season aired. The fuck? And I'm gonna just say she probably picked somebody when she's not with that person anymore. We'll never fucking know. Or maybe I need to re-reality Steve. That's the only way I'm gonna know. Anyways, he says, it's gonna hurt. Or will it? I do still love her. Do you? Fuck's sakes. Funny way of showing it. So Miranda and Jesse got a surprise for Taylor. Speed dating. Yay. And Miranda is also doing it because she's also single. One guy has 8 kids. Tell me you're Mormon without telling me you're Mormon. And his name is Bubba. Now, I don't know what y'all's reason for using the term Bubba, but I know what Bubba means. Damn. Who knows? Maybe it's not really. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it. But this one guy, Jake, clocks who Taylor is, and he pulls up her like promo shot that we'll never get to see. Again, The Bachelorette, and he's like, "Does you know? Oh no, who's that? It looks a lot like you. Who does it? What would you think about that though?" So she says she doesn't know if she is ready for The Bachelorette, and having to do this with 30 men, well, we'll never know if you were ready or not ready. Because Jesus Christ, Dakota. Anyways, the girls are coming to LA, and it's just crazy for everyone to be supportive. Like, who knew we'd get here? Except for Demi, but she's not a part of this anymore. Y'all, I mean, she's back in the group chat. This is a big deal. She's back in the group chat, y'all. We're all friends again, except for Demi. So we're seeing a dating coach to help Taylor with this transition into Bachelorette, which makes no sense, y'all. You're wasting your time and your money. Or just her time, who knows. She realizes she has to look past her normal comforts to find the diamond in the rough. Miranda says, I also want you to not self-sabotage. Well, shit. This time, though, she didn't self-sabotage. Dakota sabotaged. Who knew? But then again, isn't that self-sabotage? In a sense. Really and truly. Anyways. Mom Talk is in LA for the Dance with the Stars premiere. Mom Talk and Dad Talk, because we're making that a thing, will be in the same house. The issue? Taylor and Dakota, because he will be there. But to me, she's at a hotel. She is going to be there to support Whitney, but she's obviously not staying in the house because, y'all, she's not filming. She's not filming anymore. Like, officially, she isn't filming anymore at this point. Jesse says, you can't just come and go. Yeah, go, bitch. Don't come back. You created your own chaos, and then you run away because that's all she knows how to do. But now it's time to go, and everyone is running late except for Jessie. She's ready to go. Mayci did a podcast with Harry Jowsey. And he asked her if anyone is single. Well, yes. Funny you should ask. We have Taylor Frankie Paul, our next Bachelorette, or will she be? Who is going to be single here? Maybe you can come see her. Now, Harry Jowsey's a goddamn thing in this. He did my girl dress dirty. I'm not about him. Anyways, so it's after the girls leave is when Dakota shows up like a snake in the grass. But who would the ladies vote for? Who would you vote for, Jen or Whitney? Jesse says Jen just because of Demi. Like, I can't fully trust that. Miranda and Layla say Whitney. Mayci is like, I am not answering that. You can't make me. Here's the thing. Who would I vote for? I didn't vote for anyone, obviously. I did see Whitney dance. I did see clips of her dancing. I did watch the premiere, I believe. I think it was the premiere of Dancing with the Stars. And I did see Jen's dance, and I thought she was great. Who would I vote for? I'm gonna have to say Whitney. I love you, Jen, but I'm gonna have to say Whitney. I thought she was fantastic, the little I've seen. And she's with my favorite person too. What the fuck's his name again? Why is it not coming to me? Oh my god, why is it not coming to me? This is bad. It's right there. Mark. There we go. Mark. I knew it would come to me. Mark Ballas. I absolutely love him. He's one of my favorite people. He's obviously been there from the beginning. So she's also with Mark. So I was out spot for Mark. Anyways, and I think it's a travesty that she didn't win. But I think because of that, if this season was the season that was airing, I think it would have gone very differently. She got very far. She beat Jen. But she got very far. Anyways. But then Jacob tells Mayci, so Dakota's here. So let's call Harry to invite him over to create a distraction for Taylor so that she doesn't fuck Dakota. Because we don't want Stagecoach to happen again, aka we don't want Taylor to fuck Dakota. But then Layla calls Demi and asks her, why aren't you filming? Like, why? Crickets. It is because my name is being dragged through the mud and now they want to bring my daughter into this? Bitch, you brought your daughter into this. No one else did. Your daughter's into this because you made her be in this. You don't want to film anymore because you realize you're a liar. You don't want to film anymore because now you're being sued. Anyways, the issue is the girls are just frustrated about you coming and going because it's all you do. But Demi says, they can call me. Ain't no one calling you, Demi. No one gives a shit. But as Jordan says, oh, she doesn't want to film? But then she shows up on Dance with the Stars and says with mom talk. You know what, Jordan? I'm gonna give you that. That's a good one. Mic dropped. Yeah, you get that one. It's true. You don't want to film, but you're here anyways on Dance with the Stars? Like, get the fuck out of here, Demi. Like, really. I can't stand her. Anyways, so now Harry is here. Can't stand this guy either because he did my girl just dirty. He really did. Anyways. And Mason tells Dakota that he's here for Taylor. And let the shit show ensue. And Dakota is fuming. He's ready to throw hands. Maybe we don't do that. And Mason is like, the fact that she is doing this shows she cares more about Dakota than she wants to lead on. And I agree with him. It's true. If you don't care about Dakota, you wouldn't be doing this. Technically, the girls are doing this, but she co-signed it. You wouldn't be doing this. You would be like, whatever. That's how you would feel. The fact that you're doing this to make him jealous is absolutely ridiculous. When meanwhile, I mean, let's be real here. Not that it matters. He did have sex with some girl. It most likely would have been aired on Villa. But he did have some sex with some girl, but you weren't there, and you can avoid it if you don't want to watch it. Whereas you're flashing Harry fucking Jowsey in his face. Like, what's your end game here, Taylor? It's not cool. This toxicity, like, the problem is I can't comprehend it, but she clearly loves to live in the mess of things. That's why she keeps doing this. Anyways, that is episode 4. We'll take a quick break here, and when we come back, we'll jump in with episode 5. Hi everyone. So I have a new product for you to go take a look at. This is with Pink Salt Wall. So they're a source of pure Himalayan salt. I think we all kind of, have our salt lamps and everything, which I do have. But with them, they offer high quality Himalayan pink salt products that can enhance your environment and help with respiratory and skin issues. Their collection includes Himalayan salt bricks, tiles, building blocks, licking salt blocks for your animals. That sounds interesting. Salt lamps and cooking plates, and much more. All their products are shipped directly from their factory in Pakistan and are available locally through their warehouse in Maryland, United States. So, yeah, if you're interested in taking part in that, you can go down to the show notes where you'll see a link to their website through me. So you're supporting them as well as supporting the podcast as well. So if you go to www.pinksaltwall.com/Tanika Thomas, that's all in caps, you can partake in these amazing products and again, support the podcast. Now it's enough of me. Let's head back to the podcast. And I'm back. So let's jump in with episode 5. So Harry is feeling Taylor. It's gonna be quick. Dakota walks in and is like, "Where's Mason?" Right in front of Taylor and Harry, and it's just like, this is so weird. Harry doesn't know what polygamy is. See, I knew you were stupid. I really did. I just didn't know you were that stupid. Come on now. He has to know what polygamy is. Sir, you live it. Not polygamy, but polyamory. Same idea, except you're not married. Anyways. And then Harry and Dakota are hitting it off. They're best of friends now, apparently, which pisses Taylor off. She pisses her off. It's not what she wants. And then a fight breaks off with Taylor and Dakota now. And they're just going back and forth with the same shit they normally do. And Harry's like, "What the fuck? You know what? I'm gonna go. It was nice meeting you. Never call me." That's what he wanted to say. And then it's the next morning. Layla is going to tell everyone breakfast is ready. So that she goes into what I'm assuming is Taylor's room and she runs the fuck out. And I'm like, oh no, what's happening? She walks in on Dakota naked and Taylor is right next to him. Here we go again. I mean, valiant effort on the women's part to try and not make this shit happen again. But how many times do y'all need to be on a fucking trip with each other where you're going to constantly fuck afterwards? After you fight, you fuck. You fight again, and then you're back to your same shit. And then you're going to go through the same cycle again of we're going to fight, we're going to fuck, and then we're going to fight again. Like, how many more times do we need to do this? What's going to happen whenever the next season has to show up? If it does show up, what are you going to do? Are you gonna end up a freaking, I don't know, Woodstock 2026 and you guys are gonna be like fighting about something and then you're gonna fuck and then fight again? Are we gonna keep doing this? And the next season, you're gonna, the following season, you're gonna end up in Hawaii and you're gonna be like, you're gonna fuck and you're gonna, you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. This is fucking ridiculous. If you're gonna be together, be together. If you're not gonna be together, then fuck off and stop being with each other and co-parent your fucking son. This is ridiculous. This is so fucking confusing for me as a 34-year-old woman. Imagine how this is gonna be when he can comprehend what is going on. And her children, who are old enough to comprehend what is going on, the one she has with her ex-husband, they are seeing this shit too. They have to be seeing what's happening here. This is fucking confusing. Grow the fuck up, both of you. This is ridiculous. Anyways, I still love you, Taylor, but this is ridiculous. So the reason, like I've said, if I've been ranting about, is the reason she's beside him is because they fucked. Again. And Mayci is like, why do you guys do this to yourselves? She's like, seriously, Dakota, I'm asking you now too. Why do you keep doing this? You clearly love the toxicity. Like, who wants to live that way? Then Mayci gets a call from her publisher to basically be reamed out about the fact that sales in Salt Lake City for her book release is shitty. Basically saying that she's not prioritizing the book, that she isn't marketing the book to her stops enough. And she says, well, I did just have a baby. The fuck? But she does have a lot on her plate. So we'll see how things go. Apparently the original venue that she had backed out. She has to go to a different venue now. Anyways. So the worst part is with this whole Taylor and Dakota situation is that they did not use protection. What the fuck? It's just, oh, come on. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. I mean, y'all hate each other 99.9% of the time. I think even when you guys are fucking, you still hate each other, okay? And you get off on the hating of each other and then you take it to the bedroom and you fuck it out. You know what I mean? You hate each other. He cheats. You cry about it. You already have a son that's suffering from the fact that his parents are not together. But at the end of the day, I think he will be better off. And then what are you going to do? Bring another one into the situation? Because she's not on birth control and he didn't use protection. What the actual fuck? Like, you literally have this guy being like, I'll just come in you, I guess, or pull out and hope for the best. Meanwhile, you have Alex over at Live is Blind being like, you're on your period. I can't even touch you. I'll get you pregnant. Like, it's just, it's, I can't. But they say to her the obvious, what if you get pregnant? You're literally supposed to be the next bachelorette, or not. She tracks, but tracking does not matter when a situation arises. Meaning, here's the thing. Some people, yes, will use tracking as a form of birth control. Do I agree with it? No, I don't. Because you don't really ever know truly when you're ovulating. The one thing I'll have to give Alex in this whole situation is a woman can ovulate on her period. I think it's a rare anomaly, but it can happen. I do not believe that tracking your cycles is enough of a birth control option. I just don't. And because at the end of the day, in this particular situation, are you trying to tell me that if the opportunity arises that you're going to have sex with a Dakota, that you're going to give a rat's ass if you're in your follicle stage or your luteal stage, you're good to go. But if you're in your ovulation, like your fertile week, you're just going to be like, oh, can't do that. I could be ovulating right now. And you're going to abort mission? No, you're not. You're not going to abort mission. You're still going to have sex with this man. So you could at least wear a fucking condom. And you want to be like, you don't like using condoms? Girl, same. I don't either. But I'm also in a committed relationship for whom if I'm trying to have a child with and I'm in a somewhat healthy relationship for the most part, very healthy in comparison to this. And I know what I'm doing in that situation, right? But if I didn't want to have kids right now or whatever, I've already have a kid and I'm not there, I'm going to do what I have to do to protect myself from making sure that it doesn't happen. So, like, with him, not with him, it doesn't matter. But like, yeah, it's the whole I track my cycles thing is such a ridiculous answer to me. When is that really going to matter? Are you thinking, oh, let me check my app and see where I'm at right now when you're about to get dick down? Like, no one does that. So the best thing to do is just be protected. I'm not saying she needs to be on the pill. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not even saying she needs to take like those the birth control shots or IUDs or anything like that. She does not need to put anything into her body if she doesn't want to. What I am saying is he can wear a fucking condom. Like, what the fuck? Pulling out, sure, it's a method, but it's not a foolproof method. We all know this. People have gotten pregnant off pre-cum. Like, come on. So it's in this situation, girlfriend, use fucking protection. Because Lord have mercy if she was pregnant. While Jesse's like, gentlemen, Taylor, it's the final roast tonight. Hey, baby, what's going on? When you're ready. You know what I mean? It's just, no, not gonna work. Anyway, we'll never know. The ladies are out for lunch, and then who do we see? Who we don't get to see now? Listen to me. Okay, the reason I'm angry about this right now is, yes, I wanted to see Taylor's season. I did want to see that. But secondly, I love Jesse Palmer. Okay, fellow Canadian to a fellow Canadian. I absolutely love him, and I love seeing him. I cannot explain to you as a Bachelor Nation fan, Bachelor franchise fan, how devastating it was to see Chris Harrison leave for legitimate reasons. Or not leave, he was fired, but for legitimate reasons nonetheless. But the emptiness that you felt with Chris Harrison not being there, because he was Bachelor. His Bachelor franchise. He was it. Like, he was our face of that. So then when Jesse came and he began being the host of this, it felt like that hole was filled because he does exude that Chris Harrison energy that we had without the racism. So, or the racially insensitive comments, I should say. And I don't think he's racist. I think he made racially insensitive comments. But, or not so much racially insensitive comments, he supported a person who was a racist and then gonna be with a black man. I don't need to talk about that. Anyways, so I feel like Jesse really filled that void, and I love him very much. So I look forward to these episodes with Bachelor or Bachelorette or VIP or Golden. I look forward to these things because I love Jesse and I love seeing him. This shit that has happened has taken that away from me. And the only thing that I got from this, and the time I watched this, I was in blissfulness, thinking, I'm going to see you in a week, Jesse. Now I don't get to do that. But anyways, Jesse's here. My love. I love him very much. This was a sign to stop sleeping with Dakota. Hello. Knock, knock in there. Anything going on? Whitney is like, oh, I'm sorry, wait, what? Because Whitney didn't know that she had sex with Dakota. So what does she say? Taylor, Frankie, Paul, what the fuck? She didn't say what the fuck I did, but that's basically what happened. Yeah, exactly. My sentiments exactly, Whitney, really. The other thing, too, that I want to talk about here, just very quickly, since we're talking about Bachelor and Bachelorette, is they did like older bachelorettes coming in about their favorite like moments of previous Bachelor episodes. I saw it was recorded on our TV box, and it makes me sad because like we're not going to see this new Bachelorette coming and, you know, given the ratings, I guess. So anyways, it's fine. I'm fine. So Mayci is like, Jesse was going to host her book stop tour in Salt Lake City, I believe. But they were also supposed to do this Unwell event that was originally supposed to be on October 11th, but then it got moved to October 10th, which is the same day as Macy's book tour stop. So what did Jesse end up doing? Making the wrong decision and chose the unwell event after she committed to hosting Macy's event. And clearly it's bothering her, but she hasn't spoken to Jesse about it. And I think she's kind of opting to not talk to her about it. But now it's dinner time and Taylor and Dakota are sitting beside each other. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, which is the fact that they had sex. So Jesse, we don't need to rehash that anyway, but she does say this one thing is like, what does it matter if, I think it was here, she says, like, what does it matter if we are having sex? Like, how does that affect you? It does affect the group. It does affect the group. And clearly, look what's happening now. It not only affects the group, it's affecting these other television shows because of your poor decision making when it comes to this relationship. This should not be a relationship at this point. Anyways, Jesse's back from winning her award. Oh yeah, guys, forgot to mention she was in New York. She was there, and then she went to New York, and now she's back to win this award she was supposed to win. She won the Boss Babe Award. Okay. Last year, apparently, Kim Kardashian won the Boss Babe Award. Okay. Boss Babe, you know what? Let me just scroll on by that. And then Jessie finds out that Taylor and Dakota had sex, and she too is like, Taylor. Oh, God. Anyway. And then Jordan brings out the juice box because we're going to do this shit again, apparently. This is not a good idea. It's so much so not a good idea that Whitney's like, nope, I'm out. I am not doing this shit again. Dakota and Mason are not doing it either, so they dip out. Taylor, do you think you're self-sabotaging the Bachelorette? Yes, the answer is yes. She says yeah, probably. She agrees. Mayci, how do you feel about Jesse choosing the unwell event over yours? Well, shit. But she says, well, I feel shitty. And Jesse says, I feel honored to do that for you. But then there were these other events. And Layla is like, they offered me to be on it as well, but I chose Mayci because that's what friends are for. For good times and bad times. Well, we're in the good ember. Anyway, but Jesse says, listen, I will not go to that. Fine, done. You're the priority. These opportunities will come up again. So she decides she will not be doing the unwell event. Then Taylor and Dakota, we see them talking. He's going to be the one to put an end to all of this, the end of the cycle. Really? Are you now? You want a fucking award. So he says he's doing it. I'm doing it for you, not for me. Because I know I want you, but like, here we go round and round, you know what I mean? And it goes okay for like a second, this conversation, and then it goes south very quickly. And she says, you don't listen. You don't listen. But she doesn't have to listen. I thought you guys were not together. Why does he need to listen? Listening days are done. They're over because your relationship is over. It's supposed to be. You're holding on to this shit because, yes, you still love him, and I get it. You may always have those feelings towards him, but it doesn't mean that you keep harping on this. Let it go and let him go. This is ridiculous. This is so annoying. The one person I wanted to be with doesn't listen to me. So then if the person you want to be with isn't listening to you, then end the relationship. Why are we still here? Talking about the same shit we talked about last season. Like, why? Anyways, that is it for episode 5. And that is it for my episode. So, yeah, I think that's it, y'all. That is it for this episode. If you liked what you heard, bear with me because I have not done an outro for this, for the podcast in quite some time. So bear with me here. So if you liked what you heard, you can go to any of your favorite podcast apps. You can follow, make sure you don't miss a single episode. And you can also rate the podcast at either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It'd be greatly appreciated. As a reminder, any 5-star ratings that are given to the podcast or any comments that are given to the podcast will be read on the podcast, which I have done in the past. If you want to connect with the podcast through social media, you can find me at Facebook and Instagram at Reality T times 2. You can also find me at Twitter, TikTok, and Blue Sky at Reality times 2 pod, I believe. You can email me at realityt times 2 at hotmail.com, and you can have any inquiries, anything like that, any ideas, any shows or episodes you want me to cover, you can definitely do that over there. And I am going back to our old website, and that is at solo.to/reality t times 2. There you can get any of the links to anything that I didn't mention here, any of the socials, website, email, all of that. It's all there for you. And we also have a new thing there where you can help support the podcast as well. It's called a tip jar. And you can tip whatever your heart's desire if you want to support the podcast, but don't want to necessarily support the podcast in going to Patreon, for example, or any of the links in any of the advertisements. You can do it there. But since we're on the topic of Patreon, you can head on over to patreon.com/reality t times 2, where there you can get access to even more than what I do here. There are 3 different tiers where you can get these shows ad free, as well as our next tier up where you would get another reality show that's being covered. So, we have Jersey Shore that's been getting covered. That's still being covered currently at the time of recording of this outro, but the future is bright with what's to come in the future, which I will be discussing, or I have discussed. I don't even know. And then also our next tier is a true crime tier as well. So you can definitely head over for that. But that is basically it. I will also just quickly mention here too, if you're interested in a different take of a podcast that I'm a part of, we do things a little differently, you can head on over to Next Take Podcast, where I usually drop bonus episodes here on this feed, but there you get a lot more. And that podcast is making changes. We're growing, doing new things, but you can definitely head on over there if you want to just hear a little bit different than what I do over here. So you can find that podcast over at our website, solo.to/next take podcast. And there we'll have all the links to your desire that will link you to any of your favorite podcast apps or YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all of it. Social medias, it's all over there. But of course, you can still find that podcast at any of your favorite podcast apps. But that is it for this episode. We'll see you next time with another episode. Bye, everybody.